Here's the point guard CP3 on a pick and roll action with Saric. Since he's so deadly from this range, the big guy as well as his man had no choice but to pick him up. Now, as he was about to take the shot, he baited two guys on him before kicking out to Saric, who drilled the wide-open three-pointer. Moments later, Chris Paul sets up Stephen Curry in the corner with a slick one-handed pass, and in return, the chef cooked up Lou Dort and knocked down a tough step-back three. See, if it weren't for those two timely assists, the Golden State Warriors could have lost against OKC. And speaking of which, Chris Paul has probably tallied the weirdest stat line ever in his career on that particular match. CP3 just scored 1 point in the entire game, but while that looks depressing, the point guard dished out 13 assists, and check this out, 0 turnovers in the process. And what's shocking about all of these is that even though he had a bad shooting night, he was still a +6 in the plus-minus category. I mean, here's Steve Kerr's reaction to CP3's strange yet extremely effective performance that night.
Chris has made such a huge impact even without making shots, so now, the last couple games, knocking shots down just adds to what he's already doing, but 6 assists, no turnovers. He's up to 62 assists, 6 turnovers. I mean, that's insane. That is insane. So what he's doing as we're, kind of trying to find our team and our rhythm, he's just keeping us in games, leading that second unit, taking care of the ball. Only 11 turnovers tonight. So Chris has just been amazing for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're not aware, this phenomenon is called the Chris Paul effect. And say whatever you want to say about his fit with the Warriors, but it's clear as day that CP3 has been making a significant impact on the Warriors' success as of late, especially when it comes to his godlike playmaking. I mean, the man is just ahead of every play and delivers crisp passes on time and on target. Here's an out-of-bounds play with CP3 as the designated passer after Klay curls above the screen. Saric slips inside, and in just a blink of an eye, Paul locates Saric with a pinpoint bounce pass and lays it in for 2. Now, in this pick and roll with TJD, CP3 gets to the angle that he wants, then when he catches Nance gambling, he threads a nice pocket pass to the rolling TJD, who then finishes things up with a soft jam. In this pin-down action in the corner, CP3 sets up the chef beautifully with an on-point bounce pass to Steph's shooting pocket. And see, Curry only needs to flick this one up because he's already locked and loaded thanks to CP3's passing precision. And in this play, CP3 finds Klay Thompson right on the money of a double stagger screen, and if you give the Beast of the Bay even a small space to operate, Klay will surely make you pay. CP3's ability to distribute the ball and find people in the right place at the right time plays a crucial role in their start this season. As of this video, across 10 games, CP3 has already recorded 75 assists in total. But what's insane is that he only turned the ball over 10 times this season. And if you're going to take a look at the names of players who have the best assist-turnover ratio this season, you'll find CP3's name on top of the food chain with a value of 9.4. Trading Jordan Poole for one of the greatest floor generals of all time is probably the smartest move the Warriors have made in the offseason. Believe me, I have nothing but love for the Poole party. I mean, the man is a walking bucket. When he wants to be, that is, and can record 40-minute highlights on his own, but the thing is, he's also a walking turnover and prone to taking erratic and wild shots. Meanwhile, CP3 is the total opposite of Poole, as he's just cerebral when reading plays and methodical in dissecting defenses through his pick-and-roll mastery. Here's CP3 using the screen set by Saric at the top. As soon as he noticed that the defense didn't switch, he flicked it back to the popping Saric, and because of the distance created by this action, the opposing big had no chance of closing out, and Saric just splashed this one through since there's no one in front of him. if his pick-and-roll partner dives to the rim instead of popping out, he can also find the roll guy by threading a pass inside, just like what he did here with JK. And if the screener's defender doesn't step up to contain him, CP3 will simply get to his spot and knock it down from mid-range. Now, if the opposing big does pick him up, the point guard can still put tough buckets on their heads because he's just that skilled of a mid-range player. And if the quicker guards like Darren Fox try to stop CP3 in his tracks, he'll just remain patient and use his veteran experience as he draws a couple of pump fakes here before dropping the baseline jumper. CP3 is truly unstoppable in pick-and-roll situations, as he can deal damage in the mid-range when the defense sleeps on him, and at the same time, he can dish it out to someone else with his elite vision. Well, speaking of which, check out how he set the table for his teammates in the following plays. So, Wiggins sets the screen here to free up Klay on the curl, but after he passes through, Wiggs quickly slips inside. With the defense getting lost in the shuffle, CP3 took advantage of this as he located Wiggins right underneath the rim with no one around him. Now, here it is once again, with Steph playing as a decoy. Wiggs dives in, and as soon as that happens, CP3 is there yet again to find him. Lastly, here's CP3 driving inside against the Kings. Now, when he noticed that Klay went backdoor, he just whipped a nice left-handed bullet pass to him as he was threading the baseline and just knocked down a turnaround jumper to cap off this play. If we're going to take a look at his passing dashboard, we can see that he's making his teammates more efficient with his passes, as some of them converted from 40 to above 50% of their shots from 3 and 60% from the mid-range like Klay and Steph. Meanwhile, he's also setting up good shots for the other guys like Kuminga, GP2, and Looney, as they're also shooting above 37% from the two-point region. Now, if we're going to gauge CP3's overall performance thus far, he registers a plus 11.9 and plus 17.8 in the plus-minus box score, and he also leads the Dubs in terms of points generated from assists with 164. Immediately right after the trade between Jordan Poole and CP3 was finalized, lots of analysts were saying that CP3 was going to be a bad fit with the Warriors because his slow and methodical approach to the game was going to clash with the Dubs' high-octane, fast-paced playstyle. But as you saw in the previous clips, CP3's pick-and-roll heavy playstyle fits just fine with the Dub system, and it actually gives them a different variety offensively, which makes their offensive sets even more unpredictable and harder to defend. And even though he comes off the bench, CP3 is actually doing a great job as the leader of the second unit.
Now this is the
Chris
thing.
Paul coming off the bench. Chris Paul coming off the bench is the right move for the Warriors. It's been the right move since the second they got him. Look, two things are fundamental here. If you want him to prop up the team when Steph is resting, like Ramona mentioned, it's just better for him to come off the bench. The bonus for that is you get Steph, Klay, Draymond together for the maximum possible amount of time, and that's basketball magic. And the most interesting thing about the Warriors so far is with Chris Paul, they're playing a full 5-man bench mob. There are 48 minutes in an NBA game. Their starters played 19. Their bench mob played 13. That's like 2/3 of the game. 2 lineups. This is a really interesting development, and that bench lineup is playing in Chris Paul's image. A little slower, a little more methodical, but getting the most out of all those guys. This is the right move, and it was the right move from the second they got him.
In fact, if you crunch down the numbers, the bench guys currently have the best bench net rating in the entire NBA right now. And aside from this, the Dubs bench has actually won a couple of games for them as they outplayed the starters in several occasions. Anyways, based on the breakdowns that I just did and the stats that I've put out, I think we can all agree that Chris Paul makes the Dubs even better on both ends than they already were. And with this said, the rest of the NBA should take note on this, because a healthy CP3 teaming up with the Splash Brothers and the rest of the Warriors is going to be a big problem, especially come playoff time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time.